Minimize this. I'll just let people know it has begun. So, as I said, this is going to be me playing Fallout 4. May attempt some of these new quests that they've added in and shoved into the main quest marker without asking us. That's nice and cluttered that up, haven't you? Hopefully going to play some of those. Some debate as to which character I might play them on. So today, we'll be discussing why I find this to be a very, very underrated game as a CRPG. And I wouldn't say I find it underrated as a game. I think it is fairly appreciated as a game, but as I've talked about before on Reddit, I find a lot of people undervalue it as a CRPG, and I don't think it deserves that low estimation. So I'm going to today discuss and possibly show in game some of the features that I think actually make it quite good as a CRPG. To start playing now, I'm going to just tumbler. Oh, sorry, lens cap. I'll just bring up Twitch. My channel. Chat. Okay. Okay, we are live now. If you go to the chat, if you guys could let me know. Actually, can you hear me over this sound? Is that better? Because I heard earlier that there was a bit of a sound issue. You can let me know in the chat. Can you guys hear me well enough over the sound of Fallout? I believe I'm still broadcasting, yes. If you guys can hear me over the sound of Fallout, then let me know. but I'm assuming that you can. So, currently I've got 2 games running. I've got my main game and I've got a pacifist run as well. It might be interesting to see which of these you guys would like me to handle the new quests in. I think that's going to be something interesting to do, because I'll be coming into that totally fresh. I've not played those before, just booted it up to check that it works and hasn't fundamentally broken anything. I am using a few mods, so I'm going to wait for people to state in the chat, do we want to do this on a standard character or on a pacifist character? So I am waiting for people to hear that. I will wait until let's say 9:15, at which point I'll assume we want to do it as a pacifist character. Did I not? Okay, sometimes for some reason X seems to swallow a tweet. Hello. So, I see we have Mr. Sirlaw here. Why am I disconnected from chat? Oh. It's my chat. Why wouldn't it let me post to it? Hello. Okay, I can post in here. Why can I not post in here? For some reason the app is not getting to chat. Okay, it's not letting me post. Why is it not letting me post that? Yeah, remove followers only restrictions. I don't need to be my own. Why am I disconnected from chat? So that's irritating. Yes, Twitch is being quite uncooperative. So yes, if you guys could let me know in the chat, would you like me to try this new content as I discussed Fallout 4 with my my main run or with a pacifist character? Because I'm open to the prospect of doing either. Oh, here we go. So, fist or non-pacifist, and I think that's something that gets quite overlooked about Fallout 4. I would not say it is significantly harder to do a pacifist run in that than it is in the other games. There's one section where I think, largely due to a coding issue, a pacifist run proves extremely problematic, but for the most part, that is a mug of sugar-free Fanta, Mr. Sirlaw. So tangentially orange juice. So melee only run. My main violent guy, this guy Castle, is primarily melee. I do keep a backup ranged weapon just in case for turrets. So if you guys want to see a melee only run, I'm quite happy to do that, to take on this new content with it. It is up to you. How am I feeling today? I'm feeling good. Okay, well, we have one vote for let's do as this. Okay, this is Castle. He's a Brotherhood of Steel character. Fairly heavy chem abuser who narrowly avoided being discharged dishonourably from the army. I'll show you his build. Perk chart. So, done quite a lot in this character. He's completed Far Harbour. He's not attempted Nuka World yet. He's partway through the main plot. Very heavily invested in this guy. Got a lot of the bobbleheads. Don't think I've gotten all of them yet. So heavily invested in endurance, strength, intelligence, agility. Though in charisma, I've actually not invested that much, except in Party Boy. That was the most useful one to me because the alcohol bonuses are doubled. Notably, though, no Lone Wanderer. So I will be taking Strong with me to help me carry my stuff. So, something that's often stated as part of the reason people don't consider this, and we can have this on or off. I've got a few radio tunes, but let's look at these new quests. We'll take distress and listen to the mysterious. Echoes of the Past seems interesting. I'll just disable Liberty Prime. Okay. Now, I play on survival mode. I always play only one luck because this is not a critical build, and my character is not very lucky. So that is something that I rather appreciate about Fallout 4. It does require you to make these extreme investments, but it also makes your special build extremely relevant. Compare and contrast this to Perception, which did not do very much in the previous two games, and I think the fact that we will be feeling the results of a low perception build are interesting, of a low luck build are somewhat interesting. Conceptually, I do like the fact that sneak attacks are separated from critical hits. Again, it means that a sneak attack isn't automatically luck build. Strong, you coming? I'm 90% sure I have you equipped as a companion. Strong? Strong? I gave you a bunch of stuff so I wouldn't have to carry it. Be a bit peeved if you're not coming. Strong? Okay, sorry, I appear to have left my companion behind. Strong? Seen Strong? Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. No, I didn't tell you to stay, so...
Wait there. Come on. Over here.
I wonder if is pathfinding glitched out? This is a very dense settlement. I've got a lot of stuff here. Okay. Come on, Strong. Yep. Oh, nice. Well, I believe I did get his perk, which is a very useful perk. But yes, this character is functionally a drug addict, so... Okay. I'm thinking this maybe just being so close to Hangman's Alley that has messed up his pathfinding. But that's another thing that I think Fallout 4 does not get enough credit for. The way its companion perk system works, that you get a permanent benefit if you manage to convince each companion, manage to avoid the issue that could sometimes come up with karma in the previous games, while still having your actions be essentially monitored in a way that is relevant and ludically tracked. And here we see something that I'm actually kind of mad I've already done on this playthrough, because it's a pretty good demonstration of why Fallout 4 does deserve to be considered a good CRPG. This is one of the locations you'll meet in the Diamond City Blues quest, which is one of the most complex quest lines in the entire franchise. I don't think there's very many quests in even Fallout 2 or Fallout New Vegas that reach that level of complexity when you consider all the other quests that trigger off of it. It has a lot of moving dynamic variables that I think it deserves a lot more credit for. But yeah, if we're going to talk about what Fallout 4 tends to get criticised for as a CRPG, and I was hoping more people were going to arrive, but it's not really fair to you guys who are already here to wait for that, so they can catch the VOD. Oh, and by the way, as I said, we do play survival mode. I'm a survival mode character. I personally believe that's the most complete way to play Fallout 4, and I'll discuss this a bit more later. I believe it is the way... I believe it reifies a lot of the mechanics and their importance. Baked bloatfly. It reifies a lot of the mechanics and their importance in a way that I don't think we would actually get without it. Now, you could argue that that's unfair to judge Fallout 4 on that basis because it wasn't in the game at release. But then if we judged Fallout, the original Fallout game from the 1990s, on that basis, we would have to say that game is completely terrible because of its forced, extremely low timer, which it only fixed in a patch. And heck, New Vegas was barely playable on launch, it crashed too often. So, I think if we're going to view these games as they are in the more complete state, which I think we should, it's fair to judge them that way, I think it's fair to judge Fallout 4 for being a complete game, as it is with survival mode, and I believe survival mode adds a lot to this. And oh yeah, Charles View Amphitheatre, I believe I wiped these guys out. Yep, wiped them out and looted all their stuff. You know what, I've got plenty of a dick toll. I've also got plenty of food, so no, I'm not going to eat his corpse. I'm not going to eat his corpse. I am going to take his money. Agreed. Anything here I want. Trying not to be a completely compulsive looter. Dirty water, again, massively underrated. These are valuable, not worth it. I can eat his corpse because I have the cannibal perk. Yeah, Castle is not mentally well. This is not a very mentally healthy guy. I can show you some of that. Take off the glasses and the Gum's green bandana. He went pretty hard for the cult of Atom, and that's not the first cult he's joined. Castle was a pretty disturbed man before the apocalypse, so... Ooh, hat or helmet? Helmet reduces my VATS chance. Hat, because it's got the railroad weave on it, actually... I'm going to go with the helmet, although that does make me a little bit squishy. You know, I could put on the the glasses that give me higher perception, but that's only really useful if I switch to a ranged weapon, which I'm mostly not going to do. Or I guess if I try pickpocketing. I believe perception increases chances to succeed at that. Again, special is actually really useful in these games. Tin can, life preserver, no, and I don't want to drop another save. Oh yeah, Fallout 4 has, I actually think, a lot of more... I'll genuinely say it, Fallout 4 is a more immersive CRPG for me than the original ones, and even I think the earlier two 3D ones. I think it's more immersive than 3 in New Vegas because they would interrupt the normal flow of gameplay to provide those CRPG elements. Is the stream still going? Is the stream still? Yep, stream is just... I'm gonna, because I don't trust it because I haven't done very much streaming. I may periodically minimize just to check that everything's working and still connected. But yes, I actually find Fallout 4 to be a pretty immersive experience in that respect, and a more... immersive is not the word I'm looking for. Its choices are diegetic, and I've made posts about this before. Its choices don't disrupt the normal flow of gameplay, you get them as part of it. An example of this would be the Mechanist's Lair in Automatron DLC. The game doesn't suddenly suspend its normal rules and say, aha, you must have this skill or this perk to progress. Your ability to bypass the defenses is integrated into the hacking perk, but it's integrated into the hacking perk the way the hacking perk normally works. It's just a normal part of gameplay. And that's why I actually like these perks a great deal. They do radically alter the way you play the game. The way I play the game is going to be radically different from someone who's taken, say, the Penetrator perk and has gone for a high perception build. One thing I could do, and if it weren't for the fact I'm bringing a companion to help me carry stuff, I wouldn't be walking on land, I'd be swimming. And the reason I'd be swimming, not very much is going to attack me in the water. Not many melee enemies, at least. So, Mirelurks, fun fact, actually can't really attack you in the water. Screwdriver, these are valuable because I can sell them in Vault 81. Sledgehammer, no, don't think so. So, yes, those are some of the factors that I'm going to take into account. What side of the river door? Yeah. Strong, I guess Strong can't swim, but he also can't take rad damage. So I'm going to drag him across the water. Screwdriver. I'm a compulsive looter. I've got so many things for carrying. Ooh. Silver locket. Pre-war money is light and valuable, and I hate leaving this behind because I can sell it for money, but I don't want to get over encumbered. So yes, with the Aquaboy perk, your ability to navigate the environment changes dramatically. Like, there isn't a special, oh, I can use this dialogue option, or I pause the game and there's this special screen that checks to see what my options are and tells me that, ooh, if you had the Aquaboy perk, you'd be able to do X, Y, and Z. No, there's just water in the game, and there's useful things you can access by moving through the water, and if you don't have the Aquaboy perk, moving through the water is really difficult. The perks do what they say they do, and they are effectively and they effectively provide new gameplay options in an entirely diegetic way. And I think that's largely down to the game's environment design, but I don't think it's fair to consider that as being separate from CRPG design. I don't think that it makes sense to praise games for essentially isolating away meaningful choice from standard gameplay. The fact that Fallout 4 directly integrates its meaningful choices into moment-to-moment gameplay is something that I think is praiseworthy. I think that is a good thing for a video game to do. A good thing for a role-playing video game to do. Okay, are we around... Okay, Bunker Hill is up there. The missing caravan is way further north. Listing post Bravo. Quests, miscellaneous. Have I done listing post Bravo? No, that's upcoming. That's for a quest I've not done yet. That's Blind Betrayal. Okay. So far managed to avoid running into anything hostile. Very good stealth on this character, but of course Strong is one of the companions who outright refuses to sneak. So he may just draw some aggro, but he's also by far and away the strongest character that, as his name suggests, he has outrageously good carrying capacity. Oh, and here's where I met the scavengers for the USS Constitution quest. Fun fact. This is one of the many quests you can complete without violence. If you're sneaky about it, you can get out the back way, join up with the robots, and you don't have to kill anyone yourself for this. A lot of quests in the game actually don't require any direct violence from you if you're willing to be a bit creative about it. I did mention I have some mods going. These are some of the mods I've got. So I've got mods that give a little bit more detail about what the crafting options do. So Mr. Sirlaw just asked why all the sneaking. Essentially, I get it means that if someone does try to ambush and attack us, they're going to shoot at Strong, not me. So yeah, ST I think is relates to the range threshold. Everything else just self-explanatory. 20% sway weapon hip fire accuracy. I'm not sure. ST 10% ST. I do hope that the main mod hasn't busted this, but this is one of the mods I really like. It gives me a lot more detail about what these things actually do. In particular, it tells you how it affects VATS cost, and I am a character who is very careful about my VATS cost. I'm using a lot of legendaries to minimise VATS cost. So this negative 5% VATS cost, really useful. Fusion mag, I will eventually switch it over to this when I've used all of the normal ammunition. The ammunition that it came with, because that's finite, you can't get any more of it, but you can switch the weapon over, which is preferable to what it was in Fallout 3, where it was really good and then completely useless. Here it's really good and then kinda good. Okay. Still further north. But yes, I am sneaking precisely because if I do get ambushed or attacked by someone, and I think I've cleared most of these areas out relatively recently, and they do take a long time to respawn on survival mode. But I'm sneaking so that any attacks will be directed towards Strong, and I will get to have sneak attack on my response. But it is only going to be a matter of time before I trigger something, unless this new update has actually broken the rate at which random encounters spawn, and it would not hugely surprise me if that were the case. Oh, need to drink some water. Cannibalism does not fix that, by the way. You do need to drink... Okay, I've got dirty water. Do I have any nuka-free? No, I don't need nuka-free yet. Do I have any purified water? I should have some. Fury... Nope. Noodle cups then. Oh, Nuka-Cola, I do have some of that. Nuka-Cola is useful. I've got quite a few perks that help manage rads that you would normally never take outside of survival mode. So I can go a pretty long way without saving. But that is something you'll notice on survival mode. You'll want to save more often, which again, it helps the game get it helps the game have stochastic elements, but not just encourage save scumming. So the game gets back the probabilistic issues that it had, the probabilistic solutions that it had in Fallout 1, Fallout 2 and Fallout 3 that New Vegas got rid of because everyone just save scummed past them. Oh, Rust Devil. Okay, and you're about to see why. Nothing I want there. Oh. Do I want that? Do I want that? Nothing I want there. occasionally Rust Devils will carry stim packs or other useful things with them. I will take a military grade. Oh. Okay, I think we're good. Robot repair kit don't need right now. Fusion cell don't need right now. Ooh, what type of ammo does Strong use? I know I gave Strong a ranged weapon just in case. Trade. Short automatic pipe rifle. Here's Miss Tank Breaker. He uses 38s. Yeah, 38 is incredibly abundant. 45. I say that. I say it's incredibly abundant. No one here is going to have it. Yeah, Rust Devils are actually kind of unusual. They mostly use weapons that don't have it. The most abundant they have is 45 or fusion cells. But yeah, 38 is never in short supply for long. Which again, something I appreciate about this game. Weapons don't just become obsolete over time. The pipe weapons are some of the earliest weapons in the game. They will stay relevant into the late game because they accept the ammo types that are most common. A late game automatic weapons user is probably going to switch over to the assault rifle, which uses 5.56. But that's heavy and it's expensive and it's rare, so they will still find themselves picking up a pipe weapon from time to time. Particularly on survival mode where ammunition weight is a factor. I think survival mode just enhances the choices you have to make in this so much. It allows the probabilistic dialogue choices to be meaningful. It encourages you to actually engage with the wasteland. I just realised I wasn't sneaking there. Encourages you to engage with the wasteland differently. But you can see the effect of this. Ooh, I've not been here before. My British colonialist senses are tingling. I don't like it. Irish pride, indeed. Are there going to be ghouls here? Oh, I thought that said antifreeze. Antifreeze is really good because you can use it to make berserk syringes. And berserk syringes are really good because you can use them to make the drug Fury, which is a massive boost to melee damage. You can stack so many modifiers for damage, particularly melee damage in this game. And when you combine it with how little Castle spends in VATs, paint cans too heavy to be one. Paint cans too heavy to really justify carrying. There we go. In principle, this is a melee build. In practice, I am basically directing rockets. Oh, bird respecter. Yeah, Castle has fairly high intelligence. He's getting a lot of benefit from discovering places. I believe he's also got Piper's companion perk, which gives him a massive benefit to discovering places, and he needs it because he doesn't have enough luck for Idio Savant. So we're just discussing survival mode. I see some new people have joined the chat. Stim pack injections. Mods for item use. I don't have that many mods for those, but I believe stim pack injection use is animated by default. The ones for eating and drinking things aren't, but they would just slow me down so much. In general, my mod philosophy is very mod light. I don't have a lot of mods. I have a general texture mod, probably the biggest one I've got, and I have that mod that adjusts what you get shown when you're modding weapons, because I like to know particularly how much the VATS cost is, the AP cost. Trade magazines, they weigh nothing, but they can be sold, so they're always worth taking. Instamash, may as well if I get hungry. Bourbon. Bourbon is great because it's one of the other things you need to use to make the Fury drug. Castle is an absolute drug addict. I wrote that into his backstory because there was no other way I could justify it. This man is an alcoholic. He is an absolute wreck of a human being and very easily taken in by cults, which is why he's a member of both the Brotherhood and the Children of Atom. Bones, worth taking. Surprisingly, there's something you can make out of these that's a very, very good source of oil. It's cutting fluid. It's actually more weight efficient than things like paint. So bones, surprisingly, are a weight efficient way of getting paint. Flip lighter, cracked glass bowl, bobby pin. I don't know why I'm still taking bobby. Well, the reason I'm still taking bobby pins is not because I need them really to unlock things. I've got more of those than I'm ever going to need. Baseball blast radius, red X. The reason I'm taking those is actually not because it's because they're light and they will basically work as an alternative to bottle caps for negotiating. Okay. And this is why we bring strong. It is not the end of the... Yeah, there you go, take some 38. It is not the end of the world if I end up over encumbered, because there's various consumables I can take to help me deal with that. In fact, speaking of consumables, if I, as I suspect, am likely to fight something soon, let's give myself a bit of an advantage coming up for it. That's going to lower my ints quite a bit. Strength for whiskey. Whiskey, tempting, but I'd probably better combine it. Let's take some vodka. That's a nice big boost to my damage and my carrying capacity, because it directly boosts my strength, thanks to Party Boy. Cigar box. Cigar boxes are great because they're just good value for money, good value for weight. But yeah, you can really see the texture mod I've got here. It's just so much more beautiful than the base game, unless they've disabled that. But I believe this is a better texture. Yeah, this is another reason I don't travel with companions super often, because they tend to dislike things, but I'm fairly sure that I actually have Strong's perk, so I'm not too bothered. Yeah, Berserk. So I'm not too concerned about losing rep with Strong, because I already have that, and B, it's so easy to get rep back if you're a cannibal. Strong just loves cannibalism. Oh. Gwyneth Stout, Bourbon. Gumdrops. Oh, I can hear someone. Mirelurk hatchlings. These guys are great, because if you have the right item, you can get Mirelurk meat from them. And Mirelurk meat... Oh, Mirelurk meat is so good, because if you combine it with Mirelurk eggs and Mirelurk and I think dirty water, you get items that significantly... Nope, I don't need. That's agility +2. What I'm currently wearing is Castle's undersuit. Agility strength bonus. Not quite as good for stealth or action points, but I've got more action points than I know what to do with. So I'm just going to put back the ammo, because 50 caliber is heavy and I'm not going to be using it. I will occasionally pick up 38 to strong buff out. Always nice. Yeah. Cigarette carton, just cheap and effective. Bowling ball may as well. because I know there's a weapon from Far Harbour that I think I've got. But yeah, bone. Bone is surprisingly the most, I think, weight efficient means of getting... come on, you... No, that's stuck. That's not interactable, bother. But yeah, you got the meat from the Myrloc hatchlings. Oh yeah, this is that guy who died because he tried to raise Myrlocs. Okay, I'm strong enough to one-hit them on a crit. Myrlocs have very dense shells though. Should I take some more drugs? The only thing that I have a risk of getting addicted from anymore currently with this build is cannibalism. Cannibalism is the only thing that gives me an addiction risk. Well, it's not really an addiction risk, it's an addiction guarantee. Bottles always good because dirty water has so many applications. You can use it to make purified water, but you can also use it to make certain recipes that you otherwise wouldn't be able to make. Which is, again, this gets back to my theory. There's not enough dirty water just naturally occurring in the world without survival modes without survival modes mechanisms for filling in water. There's not enough dirty water in the wasteland by default. I think survival mode was planned out and then they just didn't get around to doing it for launch. It seriously enhances the game so much. Are there any viable eggs? Eggs are good. There's two things you can do with eggs. First is you can get something that lets you breathe underwater, which is not useful to me because I can already breathe underwater. Second thing you can do is get an item that significantly boosts your AP. Myrloc meat and eggs. Myrloc meat and eggs are absolutely fantastic because that's not so bad. Oh, I've leveled up. Oh, no. I have the ghoulish perk, that'll go away. No. No. God damn. Just let me get the Myrloc meat, because Myrloc meat is really, really genuinely good. No. I'm irradiating myself, putting myself at disease risk for no. Oh, god damn it. Thank you. So yes, Myrloc meat is extremely useful, and so are the eggs. I think I've got some. If I just go to the aid section of the inventory, roasted Myrloc meat boosts your maximum action points. Myrloc omelettes, I believe they're called. Rad scorpion egg omelette, Myrloc omelette. Myrloc egg omelette. That's 50 action points. These are tremendously good. They allow you to stay in VATS and get all the benefits of being in VATS longer, and also just attack more. It's fantastically useful. Sprint more too. If you get endurance up to the mid-20s, you can sprint without consuming action points at all. Oh, fun fact, Gun Fu applies to melee. You wouldn't normally get to use it unless you've got the Blitz perk though, but you can queue up multiples. Okay, and here is Rory Ridgewell with his Tarberry. This will at least get me back in Strong's good graces. Though again, I'm now addicted, so I can now only feed myself with dead bodies. Oh, Myrloc eggs, Myrloc eggs, Myrloc eggs, Myrloc eggs, Myrloc eggs, Myrloc eggs, Myrloc eggs. Oh, sorry, Strong. Yeah, there's a... Oh, sorry. I keep hitting him with the splash effect of the melee weapon. But yeah, these are so useful. It's really hard to overstate just how many bonus action points you get from these. Oh. My other hatchlings. So they're very weak. They are actually the weakest things in the game, bar I think certain types of radroach. But if you have the right magazine, you can strip them for their lovely... Ah! I'm irradiating myself and giving myself disease risk for no reason. So I'm just going to check on my own personal status and don't forget to level up. Q show effects. Insomnia. Sleep is not going to do as much for me. Do I want to risk popping in antibiotics? Yes, 4 strong. Do I want to risk an antibiotic? I don't think I do want to yet. If it becomes a problem, I will deal with it. So, could take Lone Wanderer, but as I'm currently going with Strong, I've got more bobby pins than I know what to do with. Do I want to take that? I could take Ghoulish. Rooted is nice. Well, the last part of that is not that useful. You know what? I will boost Nerd Rage just because that is useful to have in an emergency, and it stacks with the Trigger Rush perk I get from being Kate's friend, and the Berserk trait I get from being Strong's friend. And also certain things that I did while in Far Harbor gave me some perks that made me very strong. Oh, could you guys post in the chat how you feel about spoilers? I know not all of you have played this game, so I can try to keep discussion relatively spoiler free, and I'm going into content that I haven't seen because this is the newly released Bethesda content. But there may be discussions of spoiler content, I'm afraid. At least it would be difficult. The trouble is, if I take the key, I can't pick the locks and get... Then again, Strong doesn't like it when I pick locks. Okay. Okay, Mr. Sirlaw does not mind. The DLC is really good. Wait till it's on offer. I would really advise you to play the DLC. The DLC is fantastic. Okay, I know Bird Respecter has not played Fallout 4, so I would just like to hear confirmation from him, as if he's going to engage in the chat. Is he okay with potential spoilers? I'm going to try to keep this spoiler light, but some of the things that I did in Far Harbor are also giving me... but Bag of Cement. With all the other stuff I'm carrying, no, I'm not also going to carry that. Oh! No, I should not have done that. Okay. Well, I think we got everything we wanted from there. I got the magazine at least. Yeah, let's keep on. You can use it in crafting. You absolutely can use Bag of Cement in crafting. It's one of the only things that contains cement. unless you're lucky enough to have something in the settlement you can scrap, bag of cement is one of the only things you can get cement from. The other thing is shipments, and shipments are fantastic, and they're also something that I love about this game. You genuinely are incentivized to heavily invest in charisma. This game does more to reward charisma than I think any of the previous ones did. There's a whole other level to the game's economy that if you're playing your random wastelander mercenary type build, low charisma, you negotiate for a few hundred caps for jobs, sure. If you're playing your really high charisma barter expert who runs a bunch of different towns, you are engaging in an entirely different economy where you buy mass shipments of goods. Wild gourd blossoms. Trouble is now I've got dark craving. All the food I'm carrying is, the food I'm carrying is kind of useless for feeding me, but it's really useful for its other ancillary benefits. How far am I off now? Oh, still a fair ways off. Although I think I've cleared most of the threats in my way. Okay, carrying too much and can't run. So I can give some more things to strong. And get rid of that ammo because I'm not going to use it. Blamco brand mac and cheese, yeah, don't want that. Can't use it at this point because I'm addicted to eating people. Orange mentats, fats, accuracy and perception, maybe I'll end up using that. Apparel, much useful there. I wasn't going to use this either, to be fair. Bloodbug steak, might need that. I'll give him the raw meat. Cram, not that useful. And again, I can take some grilled rotten. Yeah, the raw stuff. Okay. And you can see just how, because I'm a high agility, high endurance build, you can see just how slowly my action points are draining as a result of this. I could run for a really long time. Cleared this a while ago. Yeah, cleared this when I was doing the recon team quest for Paladin Dance. Finding the lost recon team. So, reconnecting to chat. So yes, one of the reasons this game is often condemned as not being enough of a CRPG is its dialogue system. I want to talk about its dialogue system because, with maybe the exception of Fallout 76 Wastelanders, I think you could make a case that this is the best dialogue system that Fallout has ever had. I'll tell you why. It doesn't lock you into only having two participants in conversations. Like, there's some fantastic quests in here, like Blind Betrayal, where you will get scenes of multiple characters talking. Your character, someone else. Your companions can interject in conversation. They couldn't do that in the older system because the older system's dialogue locked you in to just talking to one other person and froze the rest of the game world. Now, Fallout 4 has a dialogue system that doesn't suspend the game. Problem. This necessarily means that the dialogue system has to be limited in its input, because if it's not prioritizing the entire game, if it's not freezing the game around it, it's necessarily, you have to still be able to move around and interact with other things while you're doing it. So it has to prioritize only a small part of the input. That's why it's only got the 4 options. And there are downsides to that. There are definitely downsides. But I think there are so many beautiful scenes in Fallout 4 that you genuinely couldn't have in the old school dialogue system. Like, people that talk about porting the older games over to this, you couldn't backport Fallout 4 without losing something. If Fallout 4... If you tried to backport this into the dialogue system from the earlier games, you couldn't have the fantastic moments with... sorry, I don't have any moderators to deal with bots. I don't stream very much. You couldn't have the fantastic moments between Dance, Maxon, and the player character. You couldn't have the cool moment with Cabot, with the Cabot House quest, where he walks down the stairs and you and Edward Deegan and he and your companion all discuss this thing together. There are fantastic moments that you genuinely couldn't replicate. Well-written, engaging character moments that only work because the dialogue system is allowed to involve more than two people. And I think it's such a shame that this game... Okay, time to get rid of the ammo I'm not using. 10mm, don't want. Ammo. Okay. Don't want you either. Don't want... Ooh, Wonder Glue and Scissors and Combination Wrench. No Fusion Core. A lot of high-end pieces, but no, not worth it overall. But I do think it is a notable feature of the game that although its dialogue system does have a few issues, there's some things you simply couldn't do without it. And there's also a lot of things I would note that its dialogue system doesn't need. For example, you don't need an attack option, because guess what? You have access to your weapons. You can just attack. You have access to all of these things. There's no explicit dialogue option for, like, pick this guy's pocket and reverse smuggle a grenade onto him. Because you can just do that. You can do that automatically. Or at least you can do it if you have invested sufficiently in the appropriate perks and the appropriate special. Whereas it was only good for pranks in the previous games, because once an enemy had become hostile to you, even if they subsequently lost you, they were no longer susceptible to being reverse pickpocketed. You couldn't engage pickpocketing with them, which essentially made the pickpocketing... It was useless outside of pranks. You couldn't actually use it as an alternative to directly fighting someone. Here, picking someone's pocket is actually a fairly effective way of neutralising them, particularly in power armour, because it's one of the ways you can disable an enemy in power armour. Okay, I want to try to steer a bit clear of Sagas, but yes, Fallout 4's dialogue system is massively misunderstood. Yes, people say, oh, there's only 4 options, but they didn't do that because they were emulating BioWare. They did that because they wanted a dialogue system that didn't freeze the world around it. It's why I get to do things like this, like direct my companions. You can't do that in Fallout 3, you can't do that in New Vegas. You can't really do it in Fallout 1 or 2 either. Why? Because dialogue takes up the entire game's interface. Fallout 4 is able to do so many interesting things because it doesn't take your entire interface. Yep, those are Brotherhood. Sometimes gunners will steal vertibirds. But, okay, here's another thing I love about Fallout 4. Factions meaningfully benefit you. It's not just you helping factions, which is what Fallout 3 and New Vegas kind of became. It goes back to the earlier ideas of Fallout 1 and 2, that one of the big benefits to aiding factions was what they could do for you. Being allied with the Brotherhood as a member of them is really useful because it means, hey, there's people running around the wastelands now who are going to help you out. Okay. Sorry, someone is coming. Yep. And you can see how many times I can attack. Okay, parched from lack of water, am I? Let's see what we can do. Dirty Wastelander. That's a lot of nuclear quantum. And I believe I am now properly hydrated. Is there nothing left to fight? And I'm not overencumbered. Where are you? Where the hell is where's all this fighting going on? Ooh, book return tokens. Okay, we've got normal raiders and rust devils. That's... Ooh, stim pack. And I am healing... Ah. Are they still there? Is Strong injured? It would have told me if Strong was injured, right? Give me a quest to heal my companion, and it hasn't. Okay, we've got Brotherhood with at least some... Yay! Can I lower the opacity of my watermark? Give me a second. Can I edit that in the middle of... Can I edit that in the midstream? I'm not sure. Sigil. Can I edit this midstream? You guys let me know. Say that's down to 6. I'm still streaming? You can still see me? Yeah? Okay. Edited the watermark opacity. I think we're still good. What is there here to loot? Brotherhood got completely trashed. Strong should be around here somewhere. I'd have been notified if he were injured. Book return token. Bottle cap. Yep, there he is, complaining about me picking locks. The whole point of smashing people is to take their stuff, and you can't take their stuff if you can't unlock it. Purified water. Cooked soft shell meat. Yep, Mirelurk things. Anything Mirelurk related, generally there is at least a recipe. 50 AP. These are fantastic. This is what I was telling you about. This is what I love facing Mirelurks, because you get to do these. Mutt chops, they'll be useful if I kick the addiction. Red scorpion meat could be. I'm not sure what we're going to end up fighting, so... +1 perception. I can stack that with orange mentats to genuinely turn into a bit of a sniper. Inventory. I'm not over capacity. Eaten everyone I think I can eat. And this is one of the Mila quests. Tinker Tom location. Yep, I think I have what I need there. But yes, what was I talking about? I was talking about how Fallout 4's dialogue system is heavily underrated because I think people assume that they were copying BioWare. I don't think they were copying BioWare. I think they wanted to get past a major restriction that existed with the older game's system of dialogue, and you can see that in New Vegas's Old World Blues DLC. That is genuinely, it was becoming a problem that the dialogue only let you interact with one other person. There are genuinely good reasons to want to... Why does everyone have so many book return tokens? May as well take a frag grenade. There were genuinely good reasons to... Book return machine. Spend tokens. There were genuinely good reasons to want to change this. And yes, the fact there's only 4 options at a time, and explicitly always 4 options, can be an issue. Frag grenades. Spend token. Frag grenades. Fusion pool. Stim pack. Let's get some frag grenades. Unfortunately, you can't bulk purchase these. Yes. I've got 6 tokens. What can I get with 6 tokens? Nothing. Okay, that's. I've got the one unique item you can get with book return tokens from the library, so I have no need to save them up. I'll just spend them as and when they become available. Technical documents, always worth checking for those. Strong, where are you? I've got ammunition to give you. I wonder if the Raiders... But was this an arcade beforehand? Let's check outside. Not clear if it was an arcade. The Raiders may have put those up for their own amusement. Okay, so Mesa Core is the opacity low enough? Ooh, action point regeneration. Don't think it's useful for me right now, but also I want to mod it extensively. No, I'll stick with what I've currently got. I'm not hungry, but may as well. Strong like that, yeah. Strong likes it when I eat people, which means it's very easy to keep him on side. Revere Beach Station. It's quite out of the way, but might as well now that I'm here. So yeah, opacity is improved in darker areas. Okay, so Mesa Core was the guy in chat who had the issue. Could Mesa Core confirm that that's better for him now? Or her? Pack of cigarettes, always worth taking because they sell well. Fancy hairbrush. Don't think I've been here before on this character. Subway token, again, weighs nothing, can be sold for money. Irradiated blood, very useful thing to gather. You can make some fantastic things out of that. And with the perks I've got, the radiation is not much of an issue for me. What is an issue with melee in survival, and what kind of stops melee from being an issue, from being just totally overpowered in survival mode, is you will get infected a lot more often. Being up close and personal gives things the opportunity to bite you, and that will give you diseases. That's why, if you know, I've got insomnia, and I'll probably pick up some other infections along the way. just due to that. Protectron. Where is the rad? You also pick up, but I can deal with rads more easily than I can deal with disease. Terminal. Do you control the Protectron? Cross has likeness 3. There we go. Yep, here, Protectron control. He should lure a lot of enemies out. Pencil. He should lure some enemies out. A lot of radroach meat. Unfortunately, what you can make with radroach meat is not terribly exciting and is pretty much useless to me because of, again, glowing blood plaque. He will at least flush them all out of cover, out of hiding. The Protectron. Oh, I have been here before on this character. It's just been so long ago that the cell has reset. I know, because that door should be chained, unless I'm thinking of a different place. So I have been before. Oh. Nuclear material and glowing blood is useful though. Stimpack. Nothing else I wanted on her. Yep, bottles. Always collect your bottles. Lost barely any hit points. Molotov, Stimpack, nothing else I really want. Okay. Yeah, the darker areas, I can see what you would mean by that. As I said, don't stream very much, so if this level of opacity is good, I'll keep it. I don't want to completely remove the watermark though, lest someone try to claim this footage as their own. So yes, Fallout 4 could be precisely because GPUs begone bots. Although quite apropos, bots masquerading as viewers in the chat rather suits the themes of Fallout 4, I would say. Okay, I can't directly target you. Can I get through here? I think I can. This will hopefully allow me to sneak through and take them by surprise. And again, I do like this. The game gives you multiple options for navigating through an area depending on the perks you've taken. Mr. Handy Fuel, heavy, but there's a lot of oil in there. Mentats and herbal anodyne. I'm terrible about taking the herbal suppressants. I need to take the herbal disease. Okay, I am over encumbered, but we know how to fix that. Grilled radstag, 25% carry weight. Psycho buff. And any alcohol at all, so Let's do vodka, because that'll also get me some max HP. Indeed. Oh, and can we just talk about how cool it is that anodyne, so herbal anodyne, there are 3 herbal items that you can take and they reduce your chance of getting sick. Herbal anodyne, I think, is for parasites. Once you get sick, you need antibiotics to deal with them, but there's Blitz is so fun. This is so fun. Blitzing. Ah, and he's lost sight of me, so this is a sneak attack. Not that it matters, because he was dead anyway. Multi-food, toy rocket ship. I could get some sleep here, but it wouldn't be very good sleep. Yeah, I don't want this other ammo though. So, and you know what, I'm also going to give you my junk. This is the main reason I travel with Strong. He's just able to carry so much stuff. So yeah, anodyne is good for reducing disease capacity, but I never remember to take it. Empty milk bottle. Now, that's not the last of them, because I snuck past the train, which means I think the enemies are still there on it. Bottle cap. Milk fruit, I can use that for crafting later. Oh, Dirty Wastelander. Love me some Dirty Wastelander, because it's +3 strength, and because of the perks I have, that doubles to +6, which is better than hard drugs. It is fantastically powerful. Yeah, it is just outrageously good, this. Bourbon, skull. Ah, no, don't really want your ammo at all. Yeah, Castle is kind of messed up. He's a messed up bloke, his Castle. Now, were there any enemies on here? May have lured them in with the fighting, but I don't think so. If I've not been here before, there's probably a magazine or something here. There we go. Nothing I really want from... Just keep the hunger at bay. Comfy pillow. Oh wait, I've got turned around. I went back the way we came. So yeah, Fallout 4's dialogue system I think is much better than people give it credit for, and the simple fact that it's not disabling the normal gameplay deserves more praise for that. I've spoken more about this on Reddit, but I think it's heavily underrated as a CRPG. So I think it has all the things people complained about it not having. It has the complex quests with multiple resolution mechanisms. Again, Diamond City Blues and its associated quest line is easily the most complicated in the game, I would argue. I don't think there's many side quests in the entire franchise that equal the depth of that. Exterminate... These damage reduction things, they seem kind of weak until you realise that you can stack a whole bunch of them and just become totally immune to certain types of enemies. Like, stacking assassins can be great for certain missions. yeah, what's another major argument that against Fallout 4? Well, you always have 4 options. I don't think it reduces the number of dialogue options you have, because people tend to forget there were a lot of instances in the earlier games where you only ever got one response. That's what the cases of, there's 4 options and they all say the same thing. Yeah, do you know what the older games would have done in that scenario? They'd have given you one option, it would just be to say yes. They did that a lot. There's a lot of people forget the older games had a lot of times when you could only just say 1 or 2 things. In fact, for I think the first hour of playing Fallout 1, there were very few options there. It was the overseer just said, "This is what you have to do. Do you understand? Go do it." Until you reached Shady Sands, or if you went back to explore the vault after a day had passed, you weren't getting any rich dialogue options there. So I don't think it's at all fair the way Fallout 4 gets maligned. We talk about what makes something a good CRPG. I think I can meaningfully play as the character I've built, and I can solve problems in a way that is meaningfully different to another potential build. I can express my character, and people will say, well, there's certain characters you don't get to kill and certain characters that you have to kill. I don't think that's fair, because that's always been a part of CRPGs. You couldn't kill the Overseer in the first Fallout game until you reached the very end of it and you had a certain trait. He was just not targetable in VATS. Not VATS. You couldn't target him in combat. He was considered a non-NPC as far as combat was concerned. There's always been characters who you had to kill. You don't get the option of sparing Frank Horrigan in Fallout 2. You get to choose how you deal with him, but the violence with him is necessary. And I'll tell you something else Fallout 4 does that the previous games didn't. It lets you explicitly state that you didn't want to kill someone. I think there's 2 characters in Fallout 4 you have to kill. Overboss Coulter in the Nuka World DLC, and Conrad Kellogg in the main game. Now, you can technically, on a pacifist run, I think, kill them in a way that doesn't log it as yours, so the Pip-Boy says no kills, but as a narrative matter, you kill them. In both of those options, they later provide you with an option to state explicitly that you didn't want to kill them, you had to do it in self-defense. In Coulter's case, you can do it when you're discussing with the Black siblings in the Nuka World Amphitheatre, and in the case of Kellogg, when you're talking to Piper and Nick later, you can state that Kellogg forced your hand and you didn't want to kill him. And that's fair. That means in character, you are playing a character in a violent world who was forced to commit an act of violence to save himself, which I think is perfectly reasonable. It's perfectly fitting with the themes of the franchise. So I don't think it's at all fair to say that disqualifies Fallout 4 from being a CRPG. You do sometimes have to do things you don't want to do, but you are in character a person who didn't want to do those things, and you get to, in character, express regret that they were made necessary. I think that's totally fair. Wait, okay, likeness 1. That would be likeness 2. Likeness 1. There we go. Oh, there's another Protectron. Legendary. Oh, wait. Legendary robots explode. Bolstering. Yeah, that's not good enough. I get enough bonuses already. Like I mentioned, this is where spoilers are going to come in. I did mention, but I think you guys mentioned you were okay with spoilers. Perks. This is what I picked up in Far Harbor. Destroyer of Acadia. When your health falls below 30%, do 4 times damage for 30 seconds. Yep, I made Dima come clean and incited a destructive mob against Acadia. Sorry. Did I? No. I managed to. I persuaded No, I remember what I did on this playthrough. On this playthrough, I actually did persuade the mob to stand down, And then I told the Brotherhood of Steel, and they weren't going to stand down. Ooh. Inquisitor of Atom also have this. Higher your rads, the more bonus damage you do. So, yeah, and I also have a piece of equipment that boosts my strength based on my rads. The amount of damage I can stack when I'm irradiated is crazy. It's why I don't mind getting a bit of radiation. It puts me closer to the threshold where I take enough damage to get a bunch of bonuses from Nerd Rage and Destroyer of Arcadia and Strong's Berserk perk. But it also, and this is where the game is just fantastically good, it also just makes me ridiculously tough to have the radiation in and of itself. So when Castle is heavily irradiated, he is pretty close to unkillable. Although things like explosives will take him out because they'll get through any damage reduction he has, just due to how much damage they do. Okay. Buff jets. Some buff tats. I need to make some more buff out. No, this is all from a mod. Nope. Nope, nothing there of use. I made a caveman build in New Vegas that could use melee without VATs, could eat cooked meats and whatever I found. Could do this in Fallout 4. Absolutely. The only thing you will struggle with, and the main thing I keep a ranged weapon for, is turrets. Turrets are often mounted in a place that makes them inaccessible to melee weapons. They will be an issue for you. You may want to use throwables for those. Everything else, though, you'll be fine dealing with melee. And there is more than enough cooked meat in the wild. You can build a really effective survivalist characters. You're going to want high strength and high endurance, but you will absolutely be able to do that. The game very much facilitates the perk. Absolutely. There's some crude traps you can make that are really effective, like caltrops and bear traps. You can do a really good tension trigger. Jet. Oh, another thing people will complain about. Oh, well, why is there jet in pre-war locations? A, this is not a pre-war location. There's been people here for a while. B, if you actually observe the events of Fallout 2, Myron has to be lying. The timeline just doesn't add up if he's not lying. Myron did not invent jet. He found the first way to manufacture it after the war, but he did not invent it. Oh, sorry. Now, watch this. Strong is going to be more upset that I unlocked this box than I just hit him with my rocket-powered baseball bat. So yeah, you can absolutely make the build you're thinking of. You're not a whole lot of people. How are we looking? I can't see the views from where I am. If more people have joined, I'm going to invite anyone who actually has a specific criticism of Fallout 4 as a CRPG. Post that in the comments, I'll try to address it. Not sure if we've got enough people. I'm kind of stalling on getting to that new content because I want some more people to view it. I'm not sure how many people we actually have in the chat. Right now it's just you left. Okay. Not a huge number of people who are interested in this content then, okay. In that case, I don't regret not starting a new build and going straight for the. Yeah, time zone is definitely a factor, but I couldn't have done it at a different time. I got home from work, not that long before I did the technical stream today. It's a Friday, so I got home from work earlier than normal. So on weekends, I could maybe do a different time. And I'm happy to discuss this more, but this is basically the time that I have for this day, and I'm I can go another hour and a half, maybe. 45, don't want that. Yep. Going north. So yeah, sorry, that was a colossal sidetrack. That just got lured off onto that tangent. So I don't, I don't think there's that many fair critics. So I'm going to keep going for a while. What time is it, USA time, Mr. Sirlaw, right now? Oh, more Brotherhood guys. Oh, actually, let's just check that they. Yep, those are Brotherhood guys. That's good. And I like it. You could accuse them of being hypocrites. You could say, well, they're just here to steal technology. And in some case, that's true. But they are. I'm in Southeast Asia. It's currently 5:30 a.m. on a Saturday. Oh well, thanks for getting up this early. But no, I do think it is notable. That the Brotherhood in this game, they aren't total hypocrites. They genuinely do think that the Institute's technology shouldn't be used by anyone, which, again, not out of the question for them. If you look at what Roger Maxson, the original Roger Maxson, did with FEV, he didn't think anyone should be allowed to use that. He shut that program down completely. So there is precedent for the Brotherhood saying, we don't think anyone should be allowed to use this technology. Oh, blazing rolling pin! I love the legendary system. Midnight, give or take 2 hours in America. 12 p.m. Yeah, fair enough. On a Friday, yeah. If I can see why I wouldn't get very many people watching her now, but the trouble is, this is basically the best time I have for streaming. So let's see, what elements have I addressed? I think I've addressed the idea that it doesn't have choice. I think there's a lot of ways you can resolve quests in Fallout 4 that aren't immediately obvious. The main thing they do, though, is that they do this diegetically. You don't freeze the game and enter a special dialogue system. You do it through the normal. Oh. Is that all of them? Did I get all the lovely meat? I think I did. So, I think it's fair to say that Fallout allows multiple quest resolutions. I think it's fair to say that it doesn't restrict your options in who you can play more so than the previous games did. Yes, you have a partially pre-established character. No more so than, say, Fallout 2, which not only gave a canonical backstory to a character from a previous game, but established that you were a descendant of that character. And no more so, I would argue, than the Lonesome Road reveal for Fallout New Vegas did for the Courier. So, insofar as this game restricts the backstory for your character, it at least has the decency to be forthcoming about it. It tells you right off the bat, okay, this is who you were. And I wouldn't say it's especially restrictive. If you look at the first Fallout game, you can go back into the vault about a day after you leave it. They open the door again. You can find out that you have an established reputation in that place. There are people who know you, people who trust you. You are the most trustworthy person in Vault 13. That's why you were assigned this job. That, I would argue, restricts your backstory pretty effectively. I would not say that the opening to Fallout That's 38 45 rounds. That's not 45 rounds of 38. Pre-war money. Never going to say no to pre-war money because it doesn't weigh anything. So I would not at all say that it is unreasonable, the amount of restriction Fallout 4 places on your backstory compared to what you got in Fallout 1 and 2, especially as there are holotapes in this game that confirm conscription was in effect. So we don't know if Nate joined the army willingly, if you do play the male sole survivor. My sole survivor, Smiley, he did join the army willingly because he kind of has an issue with getting into authoritative groups. He is a compulsive cult joiner and a compulsive drug addict. He's very good at charisma because he kind of needs to be to lie through all of his physicals. So yeah, I think it's I think that's more than fair. So what's the other main argument people make against Fallout 4 being an RPG? Well, it has a lot of shooting elements. It has a lot of non-shooting elements as well. I very rarely use direct. Oh yeah, I have the aqua. I don't care about being in water. That's not a problem for me. It has a lot of emphasis on improved shooting, but it also has a lot of emphasis on resolving things without direct shooting. It has the most advanced VATS system of any of the games, with a lot more mechanical depth than I think people give it credit for. I don't think it's at all fair to categorise this game as just a looter shooter. When we consider the depth that it put into various other systems that it has. And as I said, I've got another character I'll show you who's gotten a fair ways into the game as a pacifist. There is one section of this game that it is really difficult to complete as a pacifist, and it's mostly due to a coding error, and that's rescuing Nick Valentine. And the reason that's a problem is that the game doesn't treat him as a companion in terms of letting you order him around, but it treats him as a companion in terms of considering his kills to be your kills. So essentially, if he goes off and kills someone, which he will, because you can't tell him not to, the game considers it yours. For that game, I'm just going to have to stack up a bunch of Pax grenades and resolve things that way. There are perks that can help with it, but they're not 100% reliable. But a bunch of other things that you can do, it's quite easy to resolve them non-violently. And, of course, it's also possible to resolve even situations that do require you to kill someone. Usually only require one person to die, and they don't care who kills him. For example, one of the first quests you'll be given by the Minutemen, if you choose the Minutemen route, is to go and clear out the Corvega factory. You can sneak in there and get a Protectron to kill Jared. It won't count as your kill. It's entirely achievable if you look at the environment. If you study the clues that the environment gives you, you'll see there's another way in. You can get in without having to engage in any direct violence yourself. And with a bit of luck, you can solve that problem completely without any direct use of violence on your part. And that's something that I believe the game deserves more praise for. You absolutely can resolve it in a pacifist way, and I've gone fairly deep into that quest line on that game without taking any lives. One character who's going to be an issue is Coulter, but I'm fairly sure if I can get the synth relay grenades from the Institute, I can get them to take care of Coulter. But there's a lot of ways to resolve situations. You can hack into robots, you can override turrets, you can drive enemies berserk and cause them to kill each other. Okay, I'm getting close to this new quest line. Need some water. How much purified water do I have? I've got vegetable soup, that'll do. I should have packed some mysterious serum, because I did I did make a deal for the mysterious serum from this character. Did I take any? No, I left all that at home. Yeah, I should have taken some of the mysterious serum. Lorenzo Cabot's quest is so fun. The Secret of Cabot House. I love that quest line. And again, example of something you wouldn't be able to do. Actually, no, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you specifically why this is an interesting alternative way to deal with enemies in power armor. See, look how much damage he does. Look how hard he is to hit. Look how much he's injured me. So how am I going to deal with him? Assuming strong doesn't kill him first, if I can get him to lose me... Caution, caution, because I have outrageously good stealth. Ah, no, danger. Oh shit. Oh shit. I was going to try to show you how you can disable power armor by sneaking up behind him. He saw me coming. That is a lot of progress I just lost. That is basically everything we've done tonight. Yeah. Here's Piper, and here's Kyrian, and here's all my companions. And okay. Okay. Yeah, alright. Alternative way of getting there. Just going to check that Strong is still following me. Strong? Strong? Okay, hopefully Strong will catch up. I've got so many companions here that it's actually a little bit tricky to... Overseers most wanted. Oh yeah, they're all there. Yes, where are you? There you are. Where? Where is he? Okay, isonucleic. Yes. Strong? Where's he bloody well gotten himself off to? Oh, there he is. Okay, we're going to summon the... Okay, Strong, get in the bloody elevator. The lift. Whatever.
Go check that out.
Strong. Strong getting the... Strong getting the damn... Getting the bloody lift. Strong getting the bloody lift. Getting the bloody lift, Strong. Okay. This is going to come. Okay, we are just going to have to use a vertibird grenade. I am not repeating that entire thing again. Okay. We're just taking the vertibird. Strong will catch up. Oh, legendaries. Okay, this is what I wanted to demonstrate. Ways of dealing with enemies in power armor. Literally just steal the core. If you get an enemy to lose you in combat, such that you are hidden from them, even if they're still hostile to you, even if they would kill you on sight, you can still pickpocket them, which means you can still steal their fusion core. And if you can steal the fusion core, you can force them out of power armor. Oh, hello, Strong. Oh, come on. This is where it's decided to land. So yes, that's what I was trying to demonstrate. That's what I got killed trying to demonstrate. That's a really cool option, and it wasn't in any of the previous games. Stealing is actually really useful in this game. I'm not sure if there was anything in Fallout. Yeah, I don't think you could do that in the first Fallout game. Granted, there weren't very many enemies in the first Fallout game that had power armor, so I didn't get very many chances to test that. Fallout 2, there's more of them. I don't think it was in Fallout 2, but the fact that you could just neutralize enemies. The fact that you can just neutralise enemies using theft, who are otherwise very difficult to deal with, I think is a very positive thing. Water. Noodle cup. Yeah, Strong doesn't like travelling in vertibirds. Forgot. I'm sorry, Strong. You are just going to have to grin and bear it because I am not running back all that way. Let's go to Dunwich Borders. You know what? Tell you what. I'll eat some people when I get there, and that should get me back in your good graces. So there, no autosave. Not on survival mode. Survival mode, you save when you exit and you save when you sleep. Survival mode specifically does not allow autosaving, which means it doesn't allow save scumming. You have to think about the things you do. I wouldn't say this game is very difficult, but you do have to think about it. You do have to plan because of the amount of progress you can lose if you die. Because you build up adrenaline over time, and because sleeping too often is burning food and water for no benefit. You are disincentivized to just save scum by sleeping. So the game really does make you think about, is there anything I can shoot? But this is another example of why I think survival mode improves the game so much. You would never use this on normal mode because you can just fast travel. Survival mode makes the Institute Teleporter and the Brotherhood Vertibirds really useful. And it restores something I think the original two games had that New Vegas kind of lost, and Fallout 3 just didn't have enough faction interactions to be meaningful at all. Factions are at least as useful to you as you are to them. The main reason to interact with factions is not so much do I care about their ideology, that's part of it, but it's also what can they do for me. And do I think the costs of working with them are outweighed by the benefits of what they can bring me? And I absolutely love that Fallout engages with that in a diegetic way. And it also means you are encouraged to interact with every faction for as long as you possibly can. Die, cows! You are incentivized to engaging with every faction for as long as you can, because you want those factions and their benefits. You want to interact with the railroad for as long as you can. You want to interact with the institute for as long as you can, which means you're encouraged to see things from their point of view for as long as you can. Haha. Kill the hostile soldiers. What? There's... Ah! This would have been tricky on my pacifist character. Again, Bethesda just dropped this quest with no context, so... guess this is what I'm doing. So, are we drawing aggro from raiders in Dunwich Borers? No, I think they're all cleared out. Oh, no, they are there. And the range on this is not that good. Aid. Great Mentats is charisma. Orange Mentats is what I want. And Rad Scorpion Egg Omelette. Rad Scorpion Steak. I know I've got something here that will boost my perception. Oh, here we go. Stingwing Fillet. Boosts my perception. I love how it's arcing. I'm so perceptive that I'm shooting in an arc. Okay. Die! Oh, there we go. Oh, Strong's a bit injured. Where have they injured Strong? Heal your companion. Where? Okay. I'll take the rest of this off the map. Now I've just got Strong to deal with. Hopefully no one... Yeah, that is the issue with Age. If you build a character who's good at doing one thing, you are necessarily not very good at doing other things. And there are some situations, for all the power that melee has, there are situations it is not best suited for. Insomnia. Yep, I ate a guy and I feel ill now as a result. So this is where the verticality of the game comes into play. Even my blitz option is not going to do anything about this, so... So this is why Going pure melee can be difficult. You really have to think things out if you're going pure melee, because the verticality of the game can trap you in situations where it's difficult to get to them. So I could in theory have stealthed through this, but it's broad daylight, so that was going to be difficult. That, and they've injured Strong again. Where is he? Where are you, Strong, and how do I get to you? Oh. Andy. Yep. You see how things can go if you end up in a situation that doesn't suit you. Time to take all of the drugs. Psycho buff. Overdrive. Nuka-free. Nuka-Cola Quantum. Really should have brought Mysterious Serum with me. Dirty Wastelander. Buff Tats. Energy resistance. Ultrajet. Vim. Vim Quartz. Yaogwai ribs. Unfortunately, the only way I can solve my hunger is to kill someone and eat them. Okay. Already eaten you, can't eat you again. Oh! Bloody hell. Of course the corpse just had to fall down where I can't get to it and eat it. I think that's it solved then. Okay, properly fed. Okay, that works. Now, what was that quest about? Kill the hostile soldiers. Honestly, luring them here and then letting the raiders take care of them might have been the smarter move. But you know what? Take a bunch of drugs and hit them with a baseball bat work too. Yeah, my pacifist character would have had to think about this very differently. This would have been a very different mission for him, because he would have had to lure them into another enemy's crossfire. Enclave. Oh. Oh. Sugar honey iced tea. I did not. That is more damage than I was expecting to face. Oh my. May have to refreshing beverage that. Do I have a refreshing beverage? Cures all addictions, roughly hydrates. Stop putting the Enclave in everything, Bethesda! Not so much for lore reasons, but because they do so much damage. Heavy combat armor. Oh, I wonder what level this is. I'm at a high level. This shouldn't be available at the beginning of the game. You should not be able to get heavy combat armor at an early point in the game. Okay. Viable blood sample. So what was going on here? Can save here at least. Yeah, so I'm not sure how much longer I'll go. As I said, not a lot of people are viewing this, mostly, as you said, because of the time. But I do think it is notable in that you have these different ways of resolving situations. Yeah. Nothing against you, Miss Silla. I was kind of hoping for more of a back and forth with a chat here. It's mostly because there hasn't been very many people in the chat. So what were they doing here? Recovery. Pyro. Ambushed a deserter. They're here for equipment. Heavy incinerator. Oh! The Forged have acquired it. Tesla cannon. Plasma weaponry, plasma cartridges, mostly things I don't really want. Orders. Okay, so someone stole things from the Enclave. The only Enclave member we've actually seen in Fallout 4 so far was Richter up in Far Harbor. He was former Enclave. Homing beacon. The glowing sea? That I don't think so. We're going to the glowing sea. Enclave tags. Yeah, military fatigues. Okay, this quest mainly seems to be for people who wanted to use Fallout 3 weaponry in Fallout 4, which I'm not hugely bothered by. Could be fun though. Mostly I'm not a heavy weapons build. So I may call this a night. Sorry we weren't able to discuss all the things I was hoping I was going to get to discuss, but this quest turned out to not be what I thought it was going to be, and B, not that many people showed up to actually discuss it. But if you've got any other questions about Fallout 4 and why I think it is a good CRPG, feel free to pop that in the chat. We can keep going another couple of minutes if anyone has any questions. But I'm tempted to call it a night at that. But no, I think a fairly compelling case can be made for it. That was 45, not 38, and I don't really need 45. 5. Okay, I think that's enough to call it a night. To call it a night at that. For those of you who did watch, thanks. This is going to go up on the VOD, and I may even post it to YouTube if there's an interest. If anyone else has an interest in me doing something maybe a bit more structured when I discuss Fallout 4, I may do something like that as well. But now, no, thank you for watching, and I'll post this to the VOD. So, end stream.